Okay. This is going to have to be a very, very um, quick post to get out to everyone. Um, we've been getting some things going pretty good here. Um, I'm breaking through barriers, and I'm able to start getting some of the vital treatments. And thank God for them, because right now um, I'm able to breathe. And the treatments that I have been receiving have been very beneficial. So we're in the right direction. We're going in the right direction. And so right now, um, I've got just a few minutes of time, and I want to get some very important information out to y'all. And this is all going to be a series about spiritual warfare. What does it look like? How do you discern it? How do you fight it? And I talk about watching the shift. You watch the shift. When something happens, watch what follows. Watch what follows, okay? uh, I am Miss Talera Catherine Dawn Masters. And I got some very lovely products that were gifted to me. And thank you for your prayers. I am Talera Catherine Dawn Masters. And the angels, the higher beings that I talk to, that I have shared with you all online, I call them heavenly beings. Okay, I want to talk to you about, show you um, how to connect, who to connect, how easy it is to connect. Michael Jackson said that lies run a short distance, but the truth runs a marathon. And man, he is right, Michael. Thank you, brother Michael Jackson. I know the lies they said against you, brother. I know the lies they said against you, because I know what it's like to have lies said against you when you got a lot of people who are scamming together because they want what you got. And they'll do whatever it takes to get what you got. And so there's a whole lot of underhanded things going on. They want everything we got. So now we're in this spiritual warfare. It's said that we are going to be having higher beings, more intelligent, more powerful, more gifted, more created, etc., etc., etc. All right, we're here. It said that what is coming up, because we're all praying and wanting peace and balance. No more wars. Healing planet. That's the motto. In 2012, 2012, it said, holding the Mayan calendar upside down. Well, this is the end of the world. No, it's not. They sat there and waited till the 21st went by, and next thing you see is that sitting upright. Well, it's a new beginning. That's not an ending. Upside down, it's an ending. Right side up, it's a beginning. So, pure souls, inundated more than any time that we have even recorded memory of. Okay? And this is, we're out here, put your sunglasses on, because what pure souls are fixing to do, you're going to see the writing of this planet, and it's going to have that ripple effect. It's not going to have the effect that they want. They've been, that's why they've been beating on us, because what we think is everything. You don't need a whole lot of. You really don't need much of anything when you know how to operate spiritual powers, how spiritual powers energies work. What do you use to connect them? What do you use to make to connect them? Okay, so listen, I'm very pushed for time. I'm fixing to have somebody show up, and I want to get this out. I got to get this out while I can get it out. So I'm going to be hitting this very hard, and I'm going to be talking up louder because I got the air conditioning fan going because I got to. Otherwise, that my body heats up so to the point where I start turning beet red, and I'm battling an autoimmune. That's why that I've got these tumors coming up. So let's get to things right quick, and bear with me. Um, my character, y'all known these readers, whether they're doing it online through programs at that helps you to know that who you could be. And I tell you, it's amazing how a lot accurate these are. I agree with a lot of it. I mean, when they talk about the beauty in people's souls and stuff, I love that. I know where that's coming from. And so, but you gotta be careful. There's some things that they'll slide in there. They ain't quite so. But so, all right, now I want to go over. I'm getting better. I'm getting connected. I got people who care. They're supporting me. So here, let me tell you. Oh, who am I on? I told a friend of mine. She called me one day, and I just absolutely love talking with her. And she was telling me about that. She woke up one day. She just had uh, a big joint uh, replacement done, and big surgery. And she's doing pretty good. And she said, I woke up. She's been at home recovering, doing well for the last 3 weeks. She goes, I got up and I heard. She said, I think it's my angel. She said, do you know who you are on the spiritual plane? And she said that all of a sudden, before she could even think, here comes the name Goddess Sophia. And I said, Goddess Sophia? I said, have you looked that up? Have you looked up who Goddess Sophia is? Goddess Sophia is a goddess of wisdom, among many other things, because us women and men, we're far more than one, two, three, or four. We're a whole lot of stuff. We're a whole lot of stuff. Okay. Now, um, here's what's been going on in my home because I've been helping. You guys have been hearing, that I've been sharing information. I have been helping doctors to um, get medicines to people. Where I've got Oklahoma jumped up in front of the race. Really before any other state getting pain medicine restored back to the people we know. They're deserving of it. It's what it was created for. And we have gone up in percentage that these people are getting that medicine back. Stop lying about morphine and Demerol and Percocets and how they're mixing them out. It's on the streets, and we got to pay for them here in our homes. What they're doing out on the street. They're saying, yeah, because what they're doing on the street. Well, we know a lot of these companies, they're the ones that's putting it on the street. The black market value for, especially for pain medicine is, I'd like to get in that black market. Especially for the fact that I'd be able to get a hold of some of that medicine and give it to people who are in need of it. Now I got the phone. The phones are going to be ringing and stuff trying to interrupt. So I'm not going to answer them stuff. So unless there's an emergency, I'm going to go through this right quick. Here's what's been going on. Spiritual warfare. Our furnace. We've had a problem with our furnace since last year. It's basically a new furnace. And a $12 thermostat went out on it. And there's also seems to be like maybe some debris in the gas line to where that this furnace isn't operating correctly. And we called a plumber. It's somebody that that we have used for years. And I'll tell you, Anderson Plumbing of Elk City, Oklahoma. They are the ones we always use. We've known each other for years. You know, they're good people. I love their sons. Good men. Good men. Okay, well, now something interesting has come up. I've had a visit by one of them that he wasn't like the other times that he showed up. And and there were some things said that as he left that it bothered me the way that it came across. And my mom was present. And now we've had this sink fixed. We've been battling a leak. It seems like we're just one after another. I had a heading man that tried to put a washer in there, and it stopped. And then 2 3 weeks later, we got the leak back. And so we went from our handyman to calling the plumber. Well, I know a good plumber, call Anderson Plumbing. And the guys came out, and it's been a while. I haven't seen any of them in years, but I always get out there with them in the yard and help them run the cable, dig the lines. I used to do that. I was in construction, engineering construction, so I'm with them. I'm with them to make sure that there's no gas lines or anything dangerous. One time there was a snake back there, and I caught them, and you got to see those guys jump out of that hole when they saw that little snake coming out of the hole, and that I got him by a tail, and he took him off his little guard snake. He's feisty. I said, don't worry, you know, I'm getting you. I'm going to take you to a good place. I want you to stay in my yard, and I need to take it a little further away because if he came back around, I may be the one finished having to dig and run the line, and just settled right down. I put him down in a beautiful grassy, where flower stuff are, and come back and and all of a sudden they sit there and they shovel at this one edge and it opens up a hole and this frog jumped out and these guys jump back out. Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. I said, it's just a frog. I said, I it almost had me out of the hole too. So anyway, we got that. We got that job taken care of. Great. Our plumbing has been great. They fixed the sink, and though I've been dealing with some problems with my lungs. I've got some treatment done, and I'm breathing better because I'm getting rid of stuff. So, uh, be nice, be kind to me, Um, and I know y'all are because those who I talk to, they're y'all good people. That's why I'm on here. I got a lot of good people. I got good people, good friends, good loves out there, and I love visiting. And so anyway, um, my mom calls them and asks for send somebody out on this furnace, and this is right before the cold, right when it was starting to hit, and Tom Copeland comes out, and he's done a job, here before. He tells me he's around my age. When he comes in, he tells me that that he remembers me. I said, you do? And he says, yeah. He says, I sat there and cleared out your line from beginning to end to the city. And he says, you were out there with me the whole time. He says, and that's a shame of that. There are times that sometimes I just can't remember things, especially when they've been quite some time ago. And that has a great benefit to it because I can, um, meet old friends, And when you start knowing people from all over the world, it's kind of hard at sometimes remember everyone who's who, but y'all know who you are. So anyway, Tom comes in and he lights the furnace, And and as you leave, and he says, he says, I know who you are. And I said, you do? He says, yeah, He says, you don't. He's telling me about, we used to hang out and run around together all the time. We had fun. I said, we used to run around having fun all the time. No, because the last time that I remember is working on that back line. I don't remember seeing him in town. He might have been at a business, at a meeting that I was at. I don't recall, but he says as I was leaving, and it's like, well, I'll tell you what. 2 weeks after the faucet got fixed, for some reason or another, we got the problem back again. Now I got people who are coming in here into our home while we're gone, and they don't take anything of great significance. They just take things that it's not enough. If you call the police about a good CD, 2 or 3 good CDs, you're not going to call it. Hey, I got a couple of records missing, or hey, the screens in my sink are missing, or hey, I found my plug to my computer where I don't normally keep it. I got it's been going on for some time. Lots of things get stolen. I find a lot of things at the secondhand store. I sat there and found one in my mother's book. I said, I got it. I bought it again. I bring it back home. I said, Mom, it's her handwriting. It's beautiful handwriting. You can't miss it. So anyway, yeah. So we call him back in, and to get this thermostat, he calls up. No, he calls in. He says, "Well, you got a thermostat." And I'm going to tell the story how it happened, because I want you to hear it from me, my side. Okay, because I already know they're doing their side. So I'm going to tell my side of this story so people will know, because I got people that are starting to treat me a lot better, a whole lot better. Very kind. They're being very nice to me, kind. Like Michael said, you're going to talk about people, you should be nice. It's not nice. I have feelings. And I see you hear that, that hurts my feelings. It gets my feelings. Yeah, Michael, me too. Yeah, so why don't you talk to him? Why don't you ask him? Why don't you ask me about things? I've had a lot of stuff, same kind of stuff that they did to him. Beautiful brother. Look at me. Well, look up on my site. You'll see me back when I had good doctors and I didn't have them damaging me and they were helping me. Go back. You'll see them. You'll see them. You'll know it. You'll know. They're more for my body. This isn't my body. But I'm accepting it. I'm learning how to accept it because I love who I am. I love this body. It's been a strong body. And God built it. As I am above, so I am. As I am below, so am I above. That's not just talking about whoever the God is, whatever their religion. They're not the only ones sitting on those thrones. You'll know them by their fruit. So let me tell you what's gone on now, because something's been happening. So Tom says he's got a meter, $33. He's ready to come out and put it in. My mom, as you all know, 83 years of age. There's good days and bad days. Okay, and of course, same in the night. And this one particular time, at that particular time, my mom, we battled through the night, and I finally had her resting, and he wanted to come out and put that thermostat in, and I told him, I said, Tom, let's make it for another time, and I said, Tom, how much is this job going to cost me? Well, he starts, you see, My right arm. I've been working on my right arm too. Hurt like it's been excruciating. But look what I've been able to do. That's a dislocated elbow, broken bones, torn ligaments, tendons, hairline fractures. I used to not be able to brush my teeth. Okay, prayer works. Pure souls are here. This is what we're here to see. So, okay, Tom comes in. No, I'm over here working, and all of a sudden, I'm hearing this commotion at the door. And my mom's talking to somebody. The screen door's closed, and I start hearing this frantic panic in my mother's voice, and I know that. I know that what that is. It's got my attention. What's going on? And she's going. It's about somebody's at the door telling her she owes money. She owes them money, and I hear $185. Well, I'm over there. What's going on over here? What's going on, Mom? She's my mom is sobbing. My mom is crying. What's going on here? What's going on here? And she goes from the door and she collapses in her bed. She looks defeated. She looks defeated. But Tom comes walking in, or who I think is Tom. I'm not so sure. Y'all know I've been talking about. I've got people talking about that I've been ordering things in their business. When I come in, that your order's in. Here's the bill. I wouldn't order anything like that. I've been doing business here for a long time. That's something new. That's something I have never ordered. I wouldn't order it. It's not something I'd ever use. Oh no. Look just like me. Gold hat, eye patch. But there are things that don't match. And you have to, those who know me, they're letting me know about where else that my little me or my other me is showing up. Okay. So Tom comes in and he's there to install the thermostat. And all of a sudden, there's no thermostat, but he's there. He's here. He's going to install that thermostat. You know, it's $100 for them to walk on your property. When you call them, when they step on your property, it's $100. Oh, that day that he called, I told him that he needed to call me before he come. Call me, Of course, call me. Let's schedule a time. And so I'm asking about the cost of it. $33 thermostat. $165 is the quote. 165. $33 thermostat. So he shows up here. And I said, Tom, what type of thermostat is that supposed to be? Is it a digital? Mercury? I don't know. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Well, here, he gets on the phone. And I think it's his son. Excuse me, they're talking to. And I like his son. He's the one that came here and cleared out our line again. And it was good to see him because he was quite little the last time I seen him. And Tom doesn't have the thermostat. The 33 thermostat that he ordered. He's going to come and let's see about putting it in. And not only does he not know that, he didn't even have the thermostat. You're here to install thermostat, but you don't have the thermostat. And it costs me $100 every time you step on my property. And not only do you not have the thermostat, but you also don't have it. It's been put in somebody else's home. Really. You're here to put in a thermostat, and you don't even have a thermostat. So then I said, Tom, come here, I want to show you something. We go into the kitchen. It took a lot of persuasion. I said, come in here. I want to show you something. So he finally goes into the kitchen. And I said, I got this going on. What do you think? He said, well, you got a leak. I said, yeah, I know I got a leak. I said, what do you think? How do you fix it? You know, I don't need a leak. Well, you need to take this valve and this stem and on, and okay, and now fix it. And he starts walking away. When I said, well, you know, you guys were just out here in July, and that was done. I said, you know, we told you guys about it. It lasted 2 weeks, and now we got a drip. Lasted 2 weeks. Now back in July now. And he's walking off from me. And I said, now wait a minute. I said, I want to talk to you about this. And he's sitting there, he's got his book out and he's writing. I said, Tom, I want you to stop. I want you to stop what you're doing. He says, well, I'm multitasking. I said, well, I don't want you multitasking right now. I said, I want you looking at it, talking to me. I want you to talk to me. I want you to put that book down. I want you to talk to me. I said, now, I got a leaking faucet. Not good. I don't know where that one is. Anyway, I want to know about what we're going to do about this faucet. Oh, he sits there, rips out this paper, throws it at my mother. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. I can't remember which one I just showed. There's one for the sink. Uh, okay, one for the furnace. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yep. Make sure I get it. Lots of problems these days. And so, he throws this $100 at my mother. He wants $185 for a furnace. And I said, I ain't gonna pay it. I said, I'm not paying you. I'm not paying this bill. And he starts walking off. No, you don't. No, you don't, Tom. You're not going to sit there and charge me. No, you don't. I said, what are you going to do about that furnace? Sink. What are you going to do about that sink? My mom's sitting there going, we can't afford this. We can't afford. I said, let me tell you something, Tom. I said, I've done a lot for this town. And I said, I know. I know you know who I am. Because I tell you what, when he walked out of here that one time, yeah, having fun. Yeah, we ran around and had fun, all the time. So anyway, he's got places he need to be. He's got to go. He can't talk. He's got to go. This is my bill. I owe him $100. I said, no, you don't, Tom. I said, I got a question for you. I got something I want you to answer. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean that? Oh, you know me. We used to run around and have fun, all the time. Ran around all the time together, had fun. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean by that, Tom? What do you mean by that? Well, he starts to run for the door. No, you don't. What do you mean by that, Tom? You said that right there in front of my mother. He goes, he can't talk to me. I said, no, you don't. He goes out the door, and I go out after him. And I said it again. And he turns around and goes, hey, so if I had time to talk, I'd sit down there on that porch and I'd talk with you. I said, I don't want to sit down on the porch and talk with you. I said, I want you to talk to me right now. What did you mean that we used to run around all the time together? We had all kinds of fun. What do you mean by that, Tom? He takes off towards the truck. I'm on his heels. What did you mean by that, Tom? He stops and he turns around. What do you mean that we used to run around, have fun all the time together? What do you mean by that, Tom? I didn't say that. Oh, yes, you did. When did I say that? I said last time you were here. I said you went out the door saying it. And when I asked you about it, you shut out the door and left. I said, what did you mean? What do you mean by that, Tom? And I got up, right about nose to nose, eye to eyes. I said, what did you mean by that? I want to know. He starts going around the back of his truck. I said, I want to know. I'm yelling. I want to know, Tom. What did you mean by that? We ran around and had fun all the time together. I said, I ain't going to have somebody's wife, a sister coming over here to my house thinking I used to run around with her husband. And he jumped in his truck and he shot out of here. There's a saying that goes like this, and this is mine. Goes like this. I know that you do not know what you're messing with. Because if you knew what you were messing with, I can't find my star right now. If you knew, if you knew what you were messing with, you wouldn't be messing with it at all. No, that's why my friends, that's why I've got so many friends. They love this. I know you do not know what you're messing with. You know how I know you don't know what you're messing with? Because if you knew what you were messing with, you wouldn't be messing around with it in the first place. Yeah, I tell you what, the older brothers, I love the older brothers. I walked into businesses, and the way I walked in, the older brother stands up. He says, "Well," he says, "I believe this call is for you," and he says, "And I best be going." He stands up. He's got that look. He looks at me as he walks by, and good to see you, Miss Catherine. And yeah, they're here. I'm looking at a young man. I'm looking at a young adult, mature, immature. You want to know if he's mature or not? When I walked out of that office, he just got matured. He just got matured. I know you do not know what you're messing with. Because if you knew, you wouldn't be messing with it in the first place. So now I got these bills. I've been having to have things refixed, 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 redone, redone, redone. And I've got people that are trying to help me. And there are things that are getting taken away. And my insurance is paying for it. Medicare has paid for it, but they won't let me have it. And so now, not only this, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get a $12 thermostat, and I bet you my mother is not going to have to spend a cold night in this house for the rest of this winter. People who put that in did a good job. And it's not that old. It's not that old. It's a good one. It's a good one. But there are a lot of things that electromagnetic energy is knocking out. And so now I want to tell you, I I took my Tomcat Apollo to the vet. I want to tell you what, right quick. Tom, when I looked into his eyes was two colors. They were was a very pretty coloring to them, and the whites of his eyes. No, he didn't have no whites. And they were just as bloodshot as they could be. You know, kind of like how we look when we, don't get much sleep and working hard. Or it could be some other things. And that may not be Tom. And so I'm going to have to work to find out how to get this issue resolved between us, because I think a lot of the family, and I don't want some misunderstandings. It's not worth it. These things are not worth it. We can fix this. I got people who come into my home, and they steal things and they mess with things, and Tom said what needed to have been done with the sink, what should have been done, and okay, we'll get the guys back out here, and just fix it. We're good. No $165 tab, because it should have been. They didn't do, because Tom is a master plumber. And I knew when he sat there and told me, he says, well, you need this, and this. Yeah. I used to put valves and seals and everything in lines all the time. I built refineries. I built the oil field. Yeah. I understood exactly what he's saying. And it wasn't done, or that. I don't know. We get the guys out here. If it's just a washer, that's only a 30-minute job. Take the little screw off, pull that out, pull off the washer, put the washer on, put that one screw back in, you're done. Get me get me a Mercury thermostat. They run between $6 and $12. That's all is needed. And I don't owe another dime. Okay? Because otherwise if he's gonna sit there, you should see the state of my mother. My mother looked like a broke woman. My mother looked like a broke woman. So, okay, I'm going to find out about this. My Apollo, I went looking through his papers. I may not. I have them nearby. I was going through the paperwork from the vet, and I noticed that I did not have copies of the blood work. I've got copies of the entire bill and copies of other things, but I don't have the blood tests in there. He's got about $700 from us. Okay. So I called her this morning, and I think the world of where my vet is at. I think the world of him. And I think the world of the staff. I really enjoyed them, and they were very kind to me, because they don't allow owners to come in with the pets because of the COVID. So the owners cannot be with their loved one while they're in the hands of these strangers. And they don't do cell phones, so you can watch, Skype it, so you can be electronically there. I want to write this down, because I'm going to make a electronic pet. Pet. Yeah, that's what the doctors are. They're looking at everything over the internet. So yeah, I want to talk about that. I want to. They won't let you in there. Okay, let's get to Skype, Instagram, whatever, so I can be there, because I really don't like for my loved ones to be somewhere that they've never been before. They don't know these people. I don't. I know that they are going to feel very anxious and afraid, because they don't know. My pets are not used to going to vets, because I am their vet. I am their doctor. It's the reason why they've lived, I've had them live 17, 16 years of age. And so, not allowed to go back there. And I've had them where, when I brought my loved ones home, because I had the two females. He operated and we had to remove most of the teeth and get the broken ones out because all of a sudden, and it happened all at once. She'd been outside 15 minutes. She's mostly inside, you know. I'm gonna catch her like that. You know, they got freedom and good days to be out there. She comes in and she's salivating, and I don't see her saber teeth, and she's drooling and drooling, and I pick her up and I look, and her saber teeth are broken off at the gum line, the roots, and some others, just all at once. So, and she had a tumor on her back. It was about the size of a pecan, you know. Yeah, about the size of a pecan. It was back by her tail. He removed that. That was a great surgery. She healed very, very well, and he gave her pain medicine, which um, I want I want to tell you all this right now. Um, a lot of you know I was a medicine. A lot of y'all know that. I don't want to go into it. Okay, I want to tell you where the origin of pain measurement came from. Okay, um, from a veterinarian, and that's the honest to God truth. From a veterinarian, a vet, a doctor of animals saw that when he would give them pain medicine after surgery, that they recovered quicker and they didn't have a lengthy stay. And they were, they healed so well that basically they're running after balls and fetching sticks in no time, you know. And he saw that whenever that they had a condition that they were in pain, that he would have them on a regimen of it, and saw that they remained very active, as active as they could be, recover to be, or could possibly be with their health. And also saw that it is one of the most merciful ways of helping to stop a, a suffering, a particular kind of suffering that should not be permitted to carry on, because really no good comes from that. And so they would get a very calm, that I'm gonna take a nap. And they kind of snuggle into that. My Lexus of 17 years, she had cancer. Excuse me, I got a stray cat in here. You get on out of here. Get on out of here. That's my girl. You let me know. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. Yep. I got a black and white tomcat. I got a black and white tomcat that is the one that's been sneaking into my backyard and eating my cat's food. And I've been teaching them how to let me know when that dirty dog is sneaking in eating our food on our property. And they let me know. Boy, I tell you, when I go in their ashram and I come back to good girl. Yeah, good. That old tail is going like this. I have a 9-year old and about a 2, 3-year old. I had to bury Apollo, his sister, 9 years of age. And it's quite possible that she has leukemia too. And she's not responding as well. She's doing good, but I'm gonna let the world see my babies because I don't have much time. Meet my Shelby Ann. This is the one. When I came here in 2011 to become full-time 24 caregiver of my mother and everyone, there were 17 cats. Mom was feeding and caring for, and out of 17, we had we got Shelby and Apollo. Apollo, his coat, he's pure black. He looks like those lions on the, coat of arms. He had that long, beautiful mane. And then it wasn't quite as long on his body, but down to the lower half of his body, it was a little longer. And that tail, that feathered, the length that it had, it feathered. He had these almond green eyes. Beautiful. Oh, God, he was beautiful. And I would reach down to pet him. I never seen this. He would literally get on his hind legs, put his head down to get to your hand. That's how it always, always. I was able to get him tamed and get him inside. He was so happy he finally made it inside. He got to be in here with Lexus and Serena. That was our 17 and 19-year-old. Lexus was the mom. Serena was solid black too. And then I had my Panther. She made it to 11. Then I had my Juno. She got some time with him. Here's my orange and white. Here's my orange and white top. Oh, 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 my soul. Oh, my soul. Oh, my soul. Oh, my soul. Ah, oh, 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 my soul. They ran him over. They ran my boy over. They ran him down. They ran him down. They, they ran him down. They ran him down. Her brother would go from the place so happily and eating. There was always food on down for him. And he would go to that screen door and we catch the latch and he would get up on that screen door and call out for his sister. And his sister would come. And even when he didn't, even though when she didn't, he would call and he would look at me. And I knew when yeah, that's the plan. That was the next step. When I looked at her, I had this ache. I had this ache. I wanted to hold her so bad. I wanted to hold her so bad. Please trust me, God. I can tell. I can tell. There is something very special. I can tell it. Something very, very special between us. Please trust me. Take some hot dogs and a piece of string. And it seems to work every time. Feed them and just sit by them. And then feed them some more and sit by them. Get their tummy full. Get the string going. In which they are comfortable enough with your presence. Know that your food is fun. While they're eating, reach down. I always had to scratch them on the back of their spine, next to their tail. It's a big chakra point. And massaging it, the chakras, and the legs. Little by little, I got her. We got her in here. And that's the way it's been ever since. I told her one night, some things about what cats can do, animals can do. I said, do you know that you have special abilities? Do you know that you can heal? Did you know that? Do you know what you can give to us? Because they like giving presents. They like giving back. Like, you know, but they go out and get something to bring home. Help everybody eat, you know. They don't quite come in with flowers, you know. Grasshopper, grasshopper. Oh my lord, I tell you what. My Juno, when I had my townhouse, I tell you what, chatting with Miss Catherine, because I know a lot of animal lovers out there, and I know you're enjoying. So, I was in the living room sitting at my um, living room chair, computer, and I had the front door, screen door open so they can jump in and out. Uh, Talk about chief running paws. Juno, brought to me in arms of an 11-year-old boy, found him in the cotton fields. He was just a kitten, stunk. Oh my God. Oh my God. He ate so much that I actually had to take the food away from him because I thought he gets much bigger. One of the most psychic cats. I've had a few, and he was, well, really all of them, but some more. He jumped through the door one mid morning and come over and handed me a present. It was a bird, and he showed me. There's something he showed me: the catch and release. We don't hunt for food. I provide the food. We don't hunt the food. No need to hunt the food. Sometimes I like to give, but contribute. Of course, we're the tribe. She's my cat. She belongs to me. And I tell them, I'm your human. I belong to you. Yes, them sitting there. This is my human. And looking at everybody else and their owner, I got Miss Catherine, Miss Talera. Aralat is the name of an archangel. As I am above, so below, there is a being that I talk to like I talk with God. Is a very important woman to God. And I know the deaf they love each other. So my father,
his wife, who is my mother, Queen, yeah, Goddess Shekinah. I forgot to finish that. So anyway, I get the bird. I take the bird out to this one ledge over by the pasture, and he's good. He doesn't have anything wrong, and so back to the house I went. And I no more sat down and got going on the computer when all of a sudden I see him come in, and he's got the bird again. And he brings it right back over to me. And I was cracking up laughing, even while I was sitting there having to go through everything to catch the little thing. And so then we go back out, and I see where a lot of these birds are. And we had some beautiful trees at the end of the sidewalk. And I took the bird over there, and on a branch, and I gathered up Juno in my arms, and we went off into a shade, just sat back in the distance and watched this. And these birds were flying around the tree. And finally, at one point, I'm sorry, I need some water. At one point, um, you see the flock come from one side of the sky over to the tree. And all of a sudden, you see this little one take flight, and he made it to across the fence and a little ways into the pasture, and he went down on the ground. Not a safe place for a young bird. And I see these birds now, this flock, they're flying, swooping down, and more started coming in. Some that were sitting on the power lines. And it was incredible that this huge flock um, was this huge flock. Every one of them were concerned. And emergency, they got to get this little one off the ground. Get him off the ground. Please stay with me on things. It's not very often I can do videos, and I know you guys have been with me for a long time. And I'm going to stick with this because I may not have another opportunity to do this. And I want my side of the story of things to be registered and kept where that they can be accessed anytime. It's really wonderful, the services that the good people of Facebook has given so that we can reach each other and that we can talk with each other, and especially at a time like this, having the computer and being able to reach out, still be sociable, still helping and working together and seeing each other, and thank God for the internet, huh? So I'm going to keep pushing on. I'm not going to let this stop me. I am going to keep pressuring through this and do the best I can, and keep watching the behind me. If you start seeing patterns start moving and become blurry, let me know. It's probably the reason why that I'm getting so dry, because the effect of electromagnetic energy and radiation is it dries out our our bodies, our system. That's why I stay so thirsty, dry throat. It's they got a diagnosis for it. It's called Sjogren's. Sjorgens. It means that you have basically your moisture glands. You don't have any um, dry eyes, dry ears, dry skin, dry everything. Okay, let's go back. Okay, I am going to get this done. And I know it's been a while, but stick with me. Play it and come back. Play it and come back. I got to do this. And however it gets done is what it's going to get done. So let's get back to what's going on here. They came out and told my mother and I that Apollo has a fatal illness. And I know that he has been very ill. I know that. I have been treating him quite vigorously, especially after in 2012, that when I took him to a vet, he needed the surgery. What I got when I picked him up the next day, his body was burning, his skin was, and I'm not going to go through everything. They put frontline flea drops, take a flea drop. That's it's a pesticide. They apply it right to the skin between the shoulder blades, and my cat is literally running through the house, running through the yard, running down the street, running around the block. He is not stopping. And I couldn't get the vet to do a darn thing. And I videotaped this. And he kept telling me it's just from the anesthesia. That's all it is, all it is. No, it's not. And when I asked him, I said, what did you give him besides the surgery? And he tells me those flea drops. And I said, my cat is poisoned. He's poisoned. This is what's wrong. His skin is absorbing that poison. And I got the name Frontline. Okay, call Frontline. All right, I'm looking it up. I'm looking up the adverse reactions while I'm getting them on the phone. And I noticed that when I got home, eating food. He was eating at it, and I was putting can after can as much as it could because it wouldn't be till the following day, following morning. It's just anesthesia. He'll be okay. He'll be okay. He's not okay. And so I fed him. I did everything that I could. And I have some they can take. There are some human medicines that they can take. As soon as that office opened up the next day, I was down there and I played that video. And he was apologetic. He really didn't understand. That's what he said. And I said, "Oh, Frontline," I said, "he's got to get his body flush. That's the reason why he was eating." And that's one of the things that their poison control line said. Feed him. It's make it moist food. Make it moist food. Feed him. If it dries all you got, go for it. You got some meat, raw meat or anything, they're a carnivore, feed them. That's how it'll pull the toxin out of their body. And so, and then on IV's got to be on V's. The IVs, flush the kidneys. Everything else. He put him in a pen that was right next to the front door. And I got in the car, and it was kind of a big pen, and he's running back and forth, running back and forth. I go back in there. You give him something to calm him down. I'll calm him. You give him relief. You give him something right now. Right now. They went and got the doctor. He come out, and we went to that pen together. He gave him a shot, and I stayed there with him till I saw him finally lay down. Okay. Okay. Come home. The following day, when I went to pick him up, oh, when I had on the day before that, I had gone up there. When I took him up to the vet, I had a red pickup truck run into me. Another red pickup. It's always been red pickups. Every time that I've had anybody hit me, it's a red truck. Always. Red or maroon. Always. Police came up. Okay. Exchanged everything. We went on. So when I was coming back with him, my other cat hasn't been feeling well. They both haven't. Both of them haven't been feeling well, even though that October 14th we took them both to the doctor. The one that had the surgery on the teeth, she's got another tooth. She's been salivating and doing all the things that she's doing um, with all the broken teeth. So we took her up to be checked out, and my other one, Aquamarie, they come out and tell me that my Apollo, oh yeah, when I got I almost missed that, my Apollo, when I went to get him the next day after, I mean, when I went back to get him, when he was well enough to come home, um, 3rd Street runs down in front of the police department and goes up to 7th Street. And I 40 is just a few feet away. And that's the direction where the vet that I've known and helped him build a clientele when he moved to Elk City. My mother and I were really his first 2 patients or clients. So I've known him for a long time and thought very well. That's why he's got a clientele. And anyway, I hadn't seen him a long time, and there seems to be some changes in him. But anyway, he hands me a $450 bill. He hands me a $450 bill. I owe him $450. No, I don't. No, I don't. And I left. I came off of 7th Street, coming down 3rd Street. And about a quarter of the way down, there was a white flatbed truck. And then, you can barely see this, behind him was an Elk City squad car, police car. Literally looked like he was that close to the bumper, literally. And he's offset. And then right behind him is another car. And they're about the same distance apart from bumper to bumper. And I did criminal law. I was going into the police department. Houston Police Department went, um, gave me a job offering as soon as I graduated. So before I graduated from criminal law, I had a job. I had a job with Houston. Well, actually, 2, Houston or Dallas. And so, um, that's a setup. That's something's wrong with that. No police officer would ever let anyone box them in like that. There's only 2 reasons that a police car will ever be boxed in like that is because, one, they're making a hit. That's one possibility. They don't want him or her escaping. Or here's what happened. I didn't like it. Something's not right. I'm heading home. I only got about 5 blocks. 5 blocks down, 1.5 block up, and I'm home. And boy, I take off. Nobody else is on the road. Nobody was in my lane, and nobody was in the other lane. Even when I got to my street, nobody was coming up, nobody had turned on it. And when I turned on my street, nobody was on my street. I'm getting this car in that driveway because I got the angels. I've got my heavenly beloveds telling me. I felt it. Get after it. Get after it. And I did. And as I was pulling into my driveway, he was pulling up to it too. But I got it in. And my mom is home. And so I go out, I'm opening up the door. And he's out of that door and he comes over and he tells me to get back in. Why? Because I said so. No. Why? For my safety. For your safety. I need to see your driver's license. All right. So I get back in the car and I roll the window down. He tells me I need to roll it up. No. And my driver's license. And I start honking the horn. I need my mother to come out there. I need her. And unfortunately, she's taking a nap. But I'm honking the horn. And he quickly hands me my driver's license, and I put it back, and he opens up the door, tells me to get out. I get out. And the next thing he's doing is he's got a hold of my arm, and he's got a hold of my back, and up against the car I went. I have never in my entire life, I have never in my entire life ever scratched the back of my neck. I was surprised to see that there wasn't a dent in my car. And he put those handcuffs on me. And fortunately, that I had been honking long enough, that as he was pulling me off the car, my mother was coming out the door. And I was yelling at her that he's arrested me. Mother, they're arresting me. They're taking me to jail. Mom, they're taking me to jail. They're taking me to jail. Well, it's such a shock on her that in a hot summer day, she gets Apollo, brings him inside. Well, not the way that I really needed it done, but you're gonna find out why. Why? She brought him inside. That was the first thing that she did. Instead of coming over there and trying to fight with the officer, she wanted to get him in here, get him out of the heat. And yeah, get him in home. Come back from there. So anyway, he puts me in the car, and he starts telling me that he can lock my car up for me. It's in the driveway. Well, he keeps telling me, he repeats this, it's in the driveway. Well, I can secure it. My car is sitting in the driveway of my home. You do not have permission to enter my vehicle. Slams the door. And he goes over to my car and I'm watching this. And I know, I know what's going on. I know why. What what they're doing. They had him situated in that position because they were hoping that as I went by, that with the other two cars closer to me, that is what I would capture. That I wouldn't see the cop car that was off to the shoulder. That I did. He had, when he got out of that vehicle, I didn't know who he was. There's many that I've known. I don't know this one. He had a scraggly beard. He looked like about a 6 day, 5 day growth. They're kind of shaggy. The uniform looked like it'd been inside a laundry basket, smashed down. Been there for a while. And he didn't have a name badge on. What the hell? Yeah, I was scared. I was scared. I've never seen a police officer look like that. And he's shifty. Now he's over at my vehicle, shifty. What you got? Huh? What you got? Huh? What do you got? What do you want? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to sit there and put in my vehicle, huh? Huh? Then he comes up here up to the side of my house where I got some bushes. And he's looking, he's doing the same thing. And I'm watching him. I got full sight of him. And all of a sudden I see him straighten up. He's walking towards the cars. My mom just walked out the door. And she comes to the car. And I didn't quite hear what was exchanged between him and mom. He didn't have the air conditioner going. And there's a reason why he didn't have the air conditioner going. Because everybody, they all know, a medical condition that I have, I cannot be in temperatures that are really above about 78 degrees. 75, better. And so I have to sit there and get him to turn on the air conditioner, which he didn't do it at the first request. So anyway, yeah, he's just sitting there taking his time. My mom is in the house. He's just taking his time. We get down there, and I said, "What am I arrested for?" "You didn't pay a ticket." "I didn't pay a ticket." "Yep, warrant for your arrest." "Warrant for my arrest?" When did I get a ticket? Well, it's mailed to you. Mailed to me. Well, what is that ticket about? Or a car accident? Oh, the truck. The truck that collided with my car. Yeah. On my way, when I was on my way to take my cat to the vet. Yeah. That one. Yeah. Sent it in the mail. Oh, really? Gave me the ticket, huh? Gave me the ticket. Well, since I didn't pay the ticket, oh, you, wait a minute. The ticket was when Apollo was poisoned. No, anyway. Okay, anyway. There was more time in between. Anyway, they sent me a ticket in the mail. I didn't appear. So then it went to that warrant for my arrest. Or no. I didn't pay the ticket. So, of course, I didn't show up for it. And so it's past the date or time, whatever. Just bear with me. And so I was under arrest. No, it happened just exactly like that. They really jumped the gun on that, didn't they? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I remember now what else was going on at that time. But anyway, all right. So they take me down to jail. Now I've been down to that jail. In 2002, I was in that jail. First time I'd ever been in that jail. I was arrested for when I was driving my truck. When I was driving my truck, I was given a public intoxication charge. And I would be later taken to the hospital with a broken nose and a broken finger. They put me in full chains. I've been in that jail before. And when I got the report where this honorable police officer wrote that he parked my truck, so we're gonna have a trial. This is gonna be tried. And so my mom calls me and tells me that there's a warrant for my arrest, failure to appear in court. I had a very dear friends couple that hid me out because it came out on a Saturday. And so, um, yeah, they knew what was going on, and they hid me out. They protected me. And Dale, bless his heart, Dale goes down to the police office. Now he's he's got liver cancer. And so it was something that Dale got dressed, went down to the police department, and he paid that fine. You know, he paid what they decided that what I was going to have to pay. What I was going to have to pay. And when I got up in a little bit after he got back, he handed me the receipt. Hang on to this. And I seen what he had done. He didn't let me be taken back in there. They got their hands off of me. So now I'm being booked in. Oh yeah, all the humiliating things, you know, fingerprints, and pictures and, you know, take off this and body search and as I was putting my things up to the dispatcher officer, I said, I really don't like anybody handling this particular piece of jewelry. And she goes, oh, as soon as you get done with the processing, booking, you're free to go. I said, I'm free to go? Yeah. Your mother came in. She paid the ticket, the fine. She paid the $100, and she's out there waiting on me. And I actually started laughing with a lot of joy. I need surgery on my shoulder. The MRI shows that I've got AC tear. That finally got diagnosed. Hasn't been that long ago. Finally got it diagnosed. Finally got it MRI'd. Finally had a radiologist that would tell the truth. So I called this morning, or no, we're at with Apollo. They put Apollo to sleep, and they come out and they have this type of vinyl, kind of flat, kind of like an envelope, unzips. It's very nice looking, and they write his name and date on the outside. And so Mom and I have been vacillating about relieving him because since he had that poisoning, every year we're putting out money for medicine and everything. And he was meowing a lot. When a cat meows, they're always in pain when they meow constantly. And it was hard to get him to be inside, rest with us, rest with everybody else. It's just like he just nonstop running. There be, but there were. I had him doing very well, and it's been expensive, and it reached a point where it was beyond what I had available. I kept him more comfortable than what if he was astray or you know he was in uncaring hands, and we were becoming very exhausted because it was night and day, night and day, night and day of working with working with him and getting him where he could rest and sleep. And so the vet brings him out, and his sister, she's in the other cage, and she's got some lesions and gives me some um, liquid antibiotic to give to her, and supposedly a dewormer pill. And she's not. That dental problem is still going on, and I'm going to keep fighting through this. And Shelby improved well. They're not doing too good. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay, I called a doctor today. I was going through the papers, and I saw that there was the blood work was missing in the paperwork. Had everything else, of course, every bit of the bill was there, everything else, but there was no blood test results for any of them. And so I called up there this morning that I'd like to get. I didn't have the blood work test, results, and I'm told that yeah, you feel the energy shift, get some of this going. God, I know nearly 2 hours. Stay with it. Stay with this because I promise you, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to understand a lot. You're gonna see and know what you're looking at, what's going on, how to fight it. Okay, because we're all going through it. If you don't know what it looks like, what it's about, you ain't gonna know how to fight it. Okay, all right. Anytime that you get a crystal, whatever you put it with magnifies, intensifies, it increases energy. When you squeeze a crystal, it will release more energy. And literally, all you have to do to access this is for you to have it be in direct contact with it, whether it's a necklace or whether it's in your hand or in your pocket. They know this. You put several on, and you can do whatever it is you need to do all day long, be done, still have energy, take them off, go take a shower, sleep well. Okay, so here, all right? You see this? You see the change in me? You see the change in me. Okay, let's get going. I got 2 hours, and I know long long videos are hard to watch, but sometimes
They're the best ones. It's the ones that you need to watch. Because I tell you, I've been on the phone and they've been disconnecting me left and right. And so they're doing a lot trying to shut me down and harm me as much as they can. So let's get going. Apollo, they said she will have to ask the doctor if they can give me copies of the blood test. The blood test that I paid for. I paid everything. And he did not include the blood work. It's printed out, the results are printed out on paper, just like the bill is. I have to ask the doctor if it's okay that we send you the blood test results, especially concerning Apollo. Because my Apollo is not laying on my bed. Apollo is not lounging in the window. Apollo is not outside enjoying himself. Beautiful, the most beautiful cat sight you'd ever see. When he would run, when he would trot across the yard, that hair, that shiny black hair, the way that it feathered down along his sides, his mane and his tail, looked like he shimmered as he went across. Beautiful, most beautiful. So I don't have him. He's in the ground. I come to visit you. My cat's in the ground. Yeah, you'd be thinking the same thing. I'd like to see the blood work. Now, y'all know I went from criminal law to medicine. Every doctor that I ever go to, I always ask for my records, a copy of them. Everybody should have at least one copy, at least, unless if the printer messed up or something. They should have one good, well copy of all paperwork concerning them. So anyway, she has to ask the doctor if it's okay that she can send me the blood test results, especially on my cat. You have to ask the doctor if it's okay. So anyway, now my thought is, what are you hiding? What are you hiding? Is he hiding something? Because that's a very strange result. That's a very strange thing to say to somebody. Well, how am I going to know if taking his life did you just take the life of my loved one, or did we give the most kind, loving, caring decision?
did they just kill my cat? Because now I got quite a pet cemetery. I have my Lexus, a 17 years. I have her daughter, Serenity, at 16. But the first one is my Panther, is my Lexus, is my Serenity, is my Juno, is my Apollo. Let's keep going. We got that done. Let's keep it going. Because I tell you, if they don't pay my bill, if they don't pay me for my work, if they don't pay me for what they have done, if they do not pay me for the damages, because, oh, I damaged that truck. Yeah, it was me. There's damage. See, you can see it. Damage right there. There's damage on that truck. So, yeah, your fault. I had a broken nose and broken finger. After being arrested in jail, my nose is bleeding. After about 5 hours, they take me up there and I'm in chains. What you owe me? Next time is wanting to plant something in my car. So then, oh, this gives us a right. Yeah, look at what we got here. Yeah, look at what we got here. Call the tow truck. Oh, that car's gone. Oh, the house too. Yeah, this is a drug bust. Oh, you're going to jail for a long time. Oh, of course, I don't get an attorney. No, the goal is false imprisonment. Been there many times, too many times. One was one too many times. They've done it several times. They owe me a hell of a lot of money. They owe me a hell of a lot of money. They owe me for the rest of their lives. Forgive them. Oh, we're told to forgive them, and I know there are people out there going, "Please forgive them." And okay. I'll tell you what. I will forgive them when they have righted the wrongs that they have done. When they show me that they are sincerely apologetic to make amends, when that is done and they have done it sufficiently, then I will. But right now, I'm not permitted by spiritual law. Spiritual law says I'm not supposed to do that. They are to pay their debt. And if they don't pay their debt, then it's increased. like they do us. It's okay. I'm not to forgive them until they have made right their wrongs. Christ says that. You cannot come to Christ. That's the Christian religion belief. Until you're going to do right. Because if you don't do right, you don't, no, you're in jail. Okay, so the damage is done to me. All right, let's go to the next one. I have said that when I have helped people, when I have eased suffering, when I have been able to even achieve the point that they no longer have that affliction or whatever the situation is resolved because I work in so many different areas. Tom can only do two things at once. I have been inside of the great abode. Now, in religions, that this abode is also referred to under the language of God, Allah, Buddha, Shiva, etc., etc. Okay, I've been in that abode, and I felt what it was like to be God. I'm not God. I'm a lot more, but I know what it's like. This that is set up because they teach you how to connect with that. Okay, we're all taught how to connect with it. Almost like you get a machine, you got this neurological, connection, and everything that's going on with this machine that it's doing. Ain't that interesting? So when we connect with this particular energy network, it's interesting that what happens. It surpasses what is physical. Spiritual spiritual energy is everywhere all at once. That's why God is omnipresent, omnipotent. So I know I don't do one or two things. I can receive, hear, acknowledge, direct, assign, respond. Yes, I can. All right. Always true. So let's go to the next one. All right. Um, yeah. My doctors. We are. There are doctors that, boy, we're fighting for them. We're fighting for them. Okay, now I see why this is set up for today, and why that I haven't had this much time alone to where I could do something like this. And I'm so glad to be doing this. I am so glad to be doing this. Let's continue on. Download this, save this information, because when you can read things so quick and know things so fast that they won't be able to hold you. And if they get you, they won't be able to hang on to you, okay? And how you can have power of authority over this. Okay, this is how you know, especially who are pure souls. All right, let's go. Um, I have been, just for those who may not know, haven't known me that long, new on board. Um, we had a yards that had chemicals sprayed onto them, and it's the kind that in the springtime or summer you'll see the grass and stuff be green, herbicide, pesticide. And in 2016, uh, the yards all around me just happened to at the same time, and I mean all those right up against my yard property. did it. Same company, did it all at once. I went outside, and when I smelt that, I went to rounding up my pets. And it was, of course, mid afternoon, and they want to stay out and play. They weren't understanding the danger. And okay, I would just get to that. The result of it is one pet dead, my panther. Um, my mom not feeling well. Some of the other neighbors of upper age felt like they had the flu. They were sick, had to stay home for a couple of days and not be so active for a week, and some with lung problems, and I was one of them. I coughed up blood for a week. So I had Panther die. Panther, she died. We lost her. The other ones, they were sick, some worse than the other ones. And so, and yeah, yeah. So anyway, these this did a lot of damage to my lungs. I bled for a week with them. And I have told my doctor about who I am and what it is I do. And my doctor knows. My doctor knows what to do if there is anyone, anyone, pay close attention to those who speak well of me. There's branching out. There's branching out. And I told him that I will do everything, anything in my power to protect him, to protect the clinic. And times that I actually use the word, I got your back. I got your back. The places, they're doing well. And I mean, they are obtaining doctors that I have done background that I've looked into, and congratulations, you all. These people are amazing. They are amazing. And yes, absolutely. I want to see his. I want to see them be very successful. Absolutely. Because now I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something that only certain people know. Now, most know I do work cases. I don't just work in the healing. I also, now remember my background, okay? I work cases from city, county, state, federal. And I have worked a lot of personal ones, okay? And there are medical facilities that I have not only saved, and even on down to doctors, their license, there are not only those who I have proven their innocence that we've been able to get things lined out, my work, and yeah, they're hitting me. Okay, they're hit. I was. This is something to look. Listen to me. One of the effects of direct energy when they target is that you can suddenly lose your complete train of thought. That's unnatural. They just hit me. What you just saw, what you just saw, they just hit me. Now you know that when you see this with someone, you'll know what just exactly happened. And the one thing that you do, what you can do to help out, help them defeat that, unlock them. This is how you do it because they got a hold of it. Is you tell them what were the last words that they were just saying, what you're talking about. And that breaks that and gets it back on target. There you are. You're back together again because this is what they do. And this is how they make it harder on us. And how they try to make people look like you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're mental. Oh no, no, no. That's mental. That right there, that's not the heavenly beloveds. Yeah, there's sky buttholes. Anyway, now I have completely lost train of thought. Come on, angels, help me out with what I'm talking about. Um, okay, having my doctor's back. I have people come up to me. I've had it said to me that their business is doing very, very well. And actually, it's not something that, I wasn't involved in and helping their business to do well. And they said to me that, how come it is, how we have been able to achieve this is that, we only go with those who talk well of you. We've never had a bad business interaction. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty smart. See, awaken people. Yeah, yeah. There's a whole lot more of us, and there's some of us. There's a certain bunch that we are more awakened, far more awakened than. So anyway, my doctor's back. Anybody, he knows. I told him, I said, I love what y'all are doing. And so, and I see that the law, the law that I helped, do you guys know what I'm talking about? The one word that it put the state of Oklahoma jump ahead of all the other states. It's a law that I contacted Attorney General Mike Hunter in January of 2018. Listen to my voice because you'll know that I'm telling the truth about this because they don't want people knowing. They don't want people knowing that, yeah, I'm really for the people. I'm really for the community. I really am against corruption. Imagine that. Hey. So, now, they just hit me again. Yeah, they don't want anybody to know. Because if you don't know, okay, I'm going to have to stop this with somebody at the door. And this, okay, looks like we're back up and going. Let's continue to plow through this. And I was only expecting to be gone for just a second. And unfortunately, I have no idea where I left off. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. Please keep hanging in there for me.
this is information that um, a friend helped me realize the other night when I started talking about things and the level where I'm at. I fit a lot of pieces together, and he told me that if I would not mind that um, that he uh, talks to me again till the next day, or he wants to be able to read through this, and absolutely fine, absolutely, because when I do these, whether I type it or videotape it, you will have this information to refer back to. You'll have it, and so it's kind of like reading books, like Judith Orloff's book Second Sight, or Life Colors by Pamela Osley, or The Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield. You're not supposed to read those straight through. You read it till something comes up, interferes, or needs your attention, or that you just get a feeling, whatever, that you stop reading. And then when you are to pick it back up, you'll know, because your guardian, your soul tribe stuff, they'll show you. And one of the ways that they'll show you is that if you're if you're going to tell them up yours, I dying to read this next bit. I'm going to do it. I have spent quite a bit of time going over one paragraph, and when I get to the end of it, I cannot remember the darn thing that I just read. It's like, all right, because they want to be able to have things come up that is what you just read is fresh in your mind, and that when this shit comes, then it gets cemented into your mind. So there are things that you only go through certain times with it, and it may be, no telling how long that they want you to go through it. Maybe a couple of years. Keep referring back to it and share it, because one of the things that is not being taught is, what does spiritual warfare look like? Well, we got the only warfare that we know are dressing our babies up and somebody putting weapons in their hand and telling them, now go kill. And mhm. So what does spiritual warfare look like? We need this back, because I'm sick and tired of having coffins being sent from other countries and back here to families. And I feel the same way for foreign people, you know. Mm. So what does spiritual war look like? Because I tell you, they're doing it on our military, on our soldiers, on our loved ones, and we better know what it looks like. We better know, because if you know what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it behaves like, all these things, if you know it, you're always going to be ahead of them, and you're going to be able to recognize when there's an escape and intervening to get you broken away from it. You need to be able to recognize when these things come up, so you will know how to handle them. Because sometimes there's a lot of things that you need to take time on before you do anything. Like with this plumbing and this furnace and stuff, I wanted to go right in after, but I was able to get a hold of it. That righteous anger. Now we're going to work it out. I'm not talking about you know just letting it go. No, spiritual warfare. You're not supposed to let it go. Spiritual warfare. This is what it is. And what's got a hold of this person? Well, one, you pray for them. What does it look like? Because I understand it, because the deal is, here's the deal. Here's the deal. He wanted to come in here. Because if you see, because their arrogance is that they don't think that you are smart enough. You're a sheeple, okay? You're a sheeple, and really, that arrogance, that's what takes them down every time. They'll do the work for us. Know how to spot it, catch it, what to do with it, how you're supposed to be doing it, because they sure are making a pansy out of a whole lot of us. Have all these little, y'all know what's going on. I can't go that far. Let's go into this next one. Okay. Now, all these things, boy, I'm under attack. And I've been helping and healing. Mhm. Now, breathing treatments, lung problems. Um, you know, I have said that I have loved I have loved Elk City ever since I was a little child. We come here, visit my parents' roots. I loved the people of Elk City. Throughout my life, there's one specific reason why that I talk about Elk City and stuff, because I've never seen any town where all lanes of traffic stopped and allowed this child to cross. And I know they didn't know everybody didn't know who that child belonged to. Everybody saw, made sure that loved one would come across safely, that you can trust, where I happen to take care of. That's a community. I never seen that done. They cared about each other. Those are the people. I love those people. And I see that these people have been badly taken advantage of. And it's been spiritual warfare. Big spiritual warfare. Right now they got all the churches shut down. All of them. They can't even get together. These people can't even get together. Can't have picnics, nothing. No, really. Well, let's start finding out about how you defeat something like that. How you spot it. Okay? Who do you know? Who do you know is involved in it? And who isn't? How do you discern that? Okay. Well, they've been trying to make it look like those who are trying to help me and my mother for helping us are, um, they are constantly um, interfering, making sure that we don't get things. And a breathing treatment machine got paid for. They wouldn't let me have it. Wouldn't let me have it. Told me that I had to have the notes from the last doctor's visit before I can have my machine. Because my doctor, I'm supposed to be using this every day. I'm supposed to be having this treatment. And sometimes, well, as often as that the problem needs it. And they held on to it for quite some time, several weeks. And finally, I got things situated, knew what was going on, and went down there and told them who I am, because for a long, long time I never talked about my background, medicine, criminal law, oil field. There's a lot that I didn't talk about because I don't want that so well known, because that's how you are able to find who's telling the truth and who isn't. Looking for my Jews here. Hopefully, keep the salivation going. And you know what, folks? This right here, the dryness, um, this is going to answer a question that lots and lots and lots and lots of you talk about and ask about. It used to be that kids, people only get a cavity maybe every once in a great while. Some never any cavities. Now we got too much of a percentage of our young adults in their 20s and even in their teens having to have full set dentures. There is one thing that will cause decay of the teeth faster than anything, is that for the salivary glands not to be working right, properly, whatever, you're not having any salivation, dry glands, dry mouth. That's what does it. That's what does it. That's what it took me losing all my teeth and some other things that I found out more about. Uh, the principalities of the air. Remember, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but the principalities of the airways, of the sky, you know? And here it is. And you'll watch. Keep watching the background because you'll see this electromagnetic feed through here. This is also what caused you to lose your train of thought. Autoimmune. See, I can see it. I can see it very well. There's autoimmune right now that's under attack. Thyroid, absolutely. A lot of hyperthyroidism. Your eyesight, you need to be taking some copper, around 2 milligrams of it, so that it will fight the adverse effect of this is. So I had to go down there and meet with this one person and let it be known that who I am, because some things you shouldn't do over the phone. I need notes from my doctor. Y'all, don't you ever fall for that. These kind of people, there are medical facilities um, that do need them, and generally, primarily, it's your personal physician or it's hospice that might need them, but not them. So let's keep going. Let's keep going because they're beating on us. They're beating on us, and my ballot. I tried to get a hold of the Trump campaign because I did online voting, and I saw that my vote did not get registered. And I looked through the search engine and saw that how many stories there are on United States Postal Service losing a considerable amount of ballots, absentee ballots. And it seemed like when I called the federal office that all of a sudden my phone, click, click, gone. Click, click, gone. I can call the state, but I can't call federal. And yeah, that wasn't worth making the phone calls either. So anyway, I'm going to pause this just for a second. Okay, back on. Let's keep going. I just made a change in my hat. There's something that I've just done with it, and it's something that I have been sharing with people, telling them to do, and I'm getting videos sent back of them doing what I just did. And here at the end, I'll show you what I did, okay? Or even tell you what I did. And it's you should have improvement with your train of thought. That mental fog, you should see some decreasing of it. Every little bit helps, right? It does. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Why we got all this thermostat and plumbing problems. Gee, I got things changing on accounts on cards, and all of a sudden I'm having to pay late fees, and there are ones that I have even requested to be shut down, and oh no, there was $10 charged, before you called and said we wanted to shut down, and I have been working to get my credit score back. And so to have these people scamming me, Citibank scamming me. So I've got all these things going on here where that even thousands of dollars. They're even going after my medicine. You know, I was put on hospice, and oh no, I started doing too good. Oh no, and so I lost hospice. I lost it, and yeah, it took me 2 years to get a machine to treat. Anyway, um, new computers. I've been going through lots of that. I'm sure you all are too. Where that doesn't take no time at all. All of a sudden they failing, and all kinds of things start happening. And I tell you, I know I'm not done with this. I know I'm not, and they are really, really slamming me. And I am going to pause this, and I need to re-energize. It may be that it could also be my, well, I better not say. I need to get some nourishment. And so I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to come back, and I want to continue on talking about spiritual warfare, how you fight it, what you can do, how you can alter things to stop what their flow of things are. I want to get into this so that you're not on your knees praying and begging God to help out. They're on me. They're on me, God. Need your help, and it ain't coming. Need your help. I have been a good person all my life. I have never ever. I haven't gone around thieving. I haven't been going around lying about people. I pay my debts. Even those that don't belong to me, I paid them. Along with the Jesus Christ medical debt. Because what others have done, you got to get on that cross, pay the price. I want to show you. I want to show you why that you're not getting an answer. Why these things keep happening to you. Where's the problem? What is the problem? What is the answer? And I'm going to show you and tell you. I'm going to give this to you. So then I can start maybe having to go have some fun myself, go have a vacation, go enjoy myself. We got people who are getting knowledge and knowing how to handle, operate this machine, this vessel. What all can it do? What all is it meant to do? And what are you to do? What are these keys that are in here? And I just might stop this and do a part two because this is 2 hours and 35 minutes long right now. And I almost don't want to break it up because of the problems that they cause. I don't want to lose these because I've had it where that they've taken every bit of communication down from me. I mean, within 2 hours, I didn't have a computer, internet, cell phone, nothing, nothing. Because anytime that I start empowering the people with my information, too much good happens. And they have been trying to do everything they can to make sure that you don't get my information. And I've been doing everything I can trying to ensure you do get my information. Because my information, that's the right information. That's the information and knowledge that you protect your loved ones like. When the minute that I heard my mother's voice with this person at the door, person who's sitting there making my mother look like she was absolutely defeated. Absolutely defeated. He didn't care. She had so many colors going on. I thought I was going to have to call an ambulance. I did. I thought that she was going into a heart attack, possible stroke. He had her so upset. That's what he did. Do you know what I have invested in my mother? Everything. Because I'm making sure, because as a woman, I know that male. I know males. And I said I love gentlemen. They're brothers. These males, so show you how to do it. I'll show you how to do it. So that they can't. They'll be too afraid. They'll be too afraid to do it. And they need to be afraid. They better be afraid. Because there's not going to, all this nonsense that's been going on, slaughtering, killing, raping, torturing, it's going to end. It's not our end, it's their end. And they know it. But they're trying to make us believe like it's our end. No, it's not. It's their end. My little girl, it's their end. And that's prophecy. That's the other reason why they don't want you to be able to access me, because you'll know the prophecies. And what you're doing here. They know that. They don't want you to have it. Because, oh my Lord, if you start thinking, well, you start watching what you're eating and what you're seeing, what you're allowing. Time for you to be empowered to know what they've been saying. It's a thought that counts. You got to understand that. It's a thought that counts. Okay? It's a thought that counts. It's a thought that counts. You start thinking that they are losing. You start thinking that. And that the only ones who can get into office, the only ones who can hold any area of power are pure souls, are righteous people. Because righteous people, we're not supposed to tolerate it. We're supposed to be angry about it. We're supposed to stop it. And how do we do it? And we're going to get it there. And I'm going to have to stop. And I always have kind of a hard time on endings. And well, it's just the way it is, folks. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I do this. I am sitting here now 2 hours and 40 minutes. I have been doing this because I I do not. I want to be a part, and I know that I can be a very influential and part of this world healing. Healing. You don't have to go into the sit there and raid the storage warehouses for food. I do it because I love this planet and I love humans. We are all very beautiful, aren't we? And this is Miss Talara, Miss Catherine, Don Masters, aka Higher Ways Woman. And thank you for your support. Thank you for your time. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for making me feel that I can not be fearful. It's that I can come on camera and because I don't look like my 30-pound body, that not to feel ashamed. And I thank you because I'm learning how to be in this body because I love this body. I have taken very good care of it, and it has served my purpose for being here. And I sure hate it it hurting. You know, you ever thought about like that, cradling your body? Your body's hurting, it's in pain, it's suffering, and so it's calling out, telling you it's hurting, it's hurting, it's hurting. It's almost like having a little child around you crying, and you see that it's hurting, and you're not picking up, you're not doing nothing, and it's crying and crying and crying and hurting even more because you're supposed to be tending to it, comforting and healing, stopping it. That's what your body is. To love your body like that. I don't want it. I don't want to see it hurting. I don't want to see it suffering. That's why I love medicine. So I never left it. And they are body morphing us, and I'm feeling more and more comfortable, and I am trying to do as much as I can. And I'm going to stop with that. I'm going to stop there. Love you all. I will continue. I promise I will. don't let them don't let them manipulate you. They don't have any right. They don't have any. Nobody is given permission to hurt you, hurt your loved ones, steal from you. The law states that they are to pay you, and they are to pay you in increased
Oh yeah, that was one thing that I was wanting to make sure I did talk about. I almost forgot it. About helping clinics and license and saying that. I'm going to be very direct and open. I'm going to say this very directly. I have shut down medical facilities. I have taken license away. I've done it without anyone's help. And I've had some where, yeah, that I found some honorable people that were in the level that they were, that was above, and they don't tolerate that either. And so there have been collaborations where that we're able to address the problem right off the bat and get it right and lined out. And so there are two ways. Either we can do it this way, or that when you apply the spiritual laws, they're going to wish that they would have worked within the physical laws. And I mean it. I mean it. Shut them down, take them out. We ain't got time for it. And you're not supposed to be tolerant of it. The tides of change. Michael Jackson, a lie runs a short distance, but the truth runs a marathon. Lily Tomlin said, why is it when we talk to God, we call it prayer, but when God answers back, we call it schizophrenia? Touche. Touche.